Just had an exciting experience after I went into the TAD office, which is the travel office, state travel office, to find out about a ticket from Bangkok to Cambodia. I went to the bathroom and I leaned down to get the cup of water to flush the toilet with, and the whole sink, put my hand on the weight on the sink apparently, and the whole thing came off and the water started flying out. So my hat's covered with water and I'm covered with water, which here is actually great. So I'm walking now west, and then I'll amble northwest. I'm looking for a terracotta, kind of a little park where there's a lot of terracotta, old examples of, and then I'll go in the far north west corner to a park, apparently, that some folks told me about on the tour today. There you can see, still tons and tons of guest houses everywhere. This whole area I'm walking through now is looks like traditional Thai houses, but they filled in the lower part. Here, another temple complex with a little interesting Chedai decoration, different than what I've seen for at least the entrance. And notice the teak decoration rather than what we're used to seeing, the gold and so forth. Here, rather plain detail, good detail, but lack of ornamentation. And here in old Chedai, our guide, when I asked about these big clocks, he said there's no significance. He said maybe the church just likes to collect them, or people give them as collective devices, and I believe that's bogus, because in that particular church, which was the big temple we were in this morning, there were 2 of these and a whole bunch of clocks, regular clocks, wall clocks if you will. I know there's something more significant about it. This, I'm guessing, is a bookcase with somewhat holy scriptures in it. Copies of them, I mean. Here are 7 ceremonial gongs, one large one. That looks like Square D electrical breaker logo, and those do look like electrical wire drums. Not quite as frenetic as in the center of the central city. Here's just a block or 2 down is another temple complex. I asked the guide about the dragon at the as the railing for the stairways for the Wihans, as to why there was one that was apparently eating this one here, or at least this one was issuing from that one. He said merely design element, and I think that's bogus, because I'm seeing it everywhere. When you see something everywhere, it's tradition. Now the question is, what's the basis of the tradition? This is a pretty pagoda simply because it's well maintained, whitewashed, and has these gold little trees on them, which is the first time we've seen that affectation or design element. This is just a pretty little spirit house I saw tucked in the back, and a modern one made out of looks like paneling. Here's an old Chedai that has no other building around it, so everything else must have disintegrated away. Notice the yellow fabric. The purpose of that is the desire to keep the Chedai warm. And this is a quiet little lane. Looks like something to my right here, but I don't know whether it's private property or not. Thinking it might be. These look like terracotta figures, if I understand what terracotta is. It's the material. clay sculpture baked. So I'll go inside and see. Lots of terracotta stuff here. Let's go see. An ornate doorway into that compound, whatever the compound is. Now the door is basically a reddish brown. It looks like it's everything that was on it's worn away. There is some bluish color or greenish color underneath it. Which came first or blah blah blah, I don't know. So I lucked out by pure intuition. This is exactly where they wanted me to be. Notice this is, I think, European or Greek illusion, where you've got the half man, this happens to be a woman, and half animal, although instead of being a goat, this appears to be bird-like. See, it's talons at the bottom and feathers on the side. So this is a man who looks like he either repairs these or makes them, or both. And here are the tools of his trade: paints, water, paintbrush. All these are reproductions of antiques that people might buy for their backyard or their home. And apparently they ship all over the world. Notice the lotus bud, the forearms. I'm sure in each of the hands is a symbol. It's important. Reminds me of scraps of friezes that you might find from Roman buildings in museums or at ruin sites. This is a top of a finial, if you will, of a fence post, I imagine. And here another. And here examples of how it might look to have one of these. I'm sure the wealthy can ship these with impunity. Even as reproductions, you wonder how they were able to make the copy, or how accurate the copy is. This may be the owner's fighting cock. And next to my original entrance is the newer entrance. Now, considering how important Buddhism is here, like 95, I think, % of the people are Buddhist, regardless of what their ethnicity is. No, I'm not going to pronounce that again. But one can almost imagine that this were the favorite garden of a wealthy collector of antiques. Saudi crab. And probably commercial enterprises will use this as a source for significant decoration. But notice how there's green mold on some of these. They've been here for quite some time. Same kind of green mold as is on the ground, but then they probably water this area, keep the plants they have watered. Look at this Buddha. This is really an outstanding place just to visit. Imagine if you lived here and you had the money that you could create a backyard like this. It would look authentic and have all of the ambience that this place has. And was it here that those individual pieces of tile were made for the king and the queen's monument that we visited the other day? So I imagine, just like a picture in an art gallery, you can come in here and buy this panel. Okay, we're back along the moat now, and I don't know if you can see the fish in there. My friends tell me the park is down in this far corner, so off we go. Here we are at another city gate. Some kind of big cocktail type bar, I assume. On that side are roofing and enclosure or areas for a little impromptu shops, as is where I'm at. So sometime during the day this is probably a market area, but I think off to my right looks like the park, so soon we'll find an entrance and explore its tranquility. Here's a more impressive entranceway. But it looks like there are lots of little waterways and bridges across the waterways. And there's a sign over there indicates this is the Chiang Mai City Public Park. Don't know who this character is, but notice that he has 5 feet on each, on one foot, 3 feet on another, and the one that he's supported on is 3 legs. Then he's brandishing about 10 swords and looks to have several faces. Maybe this is a way of illustrating animation. Did you ever think of that? It's a small park, but relatively peaceful, even though the traffic, of course, is ever present, but I'm sure that after a few minutes you can factor that out. Here in this corner is an abandoned aviary, as is often the case. In third world nations, they start with a really great idea. Anything that requires maintenance, they abandon. Yeah, here is a whole new set of kids' playthings, although the one there looks like it's not too terribly stable. So it's always a struggle of 1 step forward, 2 steps back.